activated for you to share your views and your comments. The question we are asking and we are looking at from the fallout of the 2026 MPP's presidential elections is that what impact does the outcome bring to the 2028 election? Stay tuned. When I return from this short break, we'll dive into the conversation. I'll be right back.
Ifo kra na menyisika edia ye mefui.
Ehin fa na menya bosia edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre me ye bosia ato taxi fofo. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema mwakwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekoko bosia, susu account, and it does all savings account. Me bada chain savings account, and the akeka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Na won so what to me aka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Hello Ghana, payday is here. Stand a chance to win instant cash prizes on Review Scratch for Win, up to 100,000 Ghana cedis to be won today. Get ready to play Review Scratch for Win to win big on TV XYZ. Stop scrolling and start winning. It's simple. Dial *850*6# on all networks. Choose your card type and select your lucky card for a chance to win big. Play with at least 5 Ghana cedis or more. You could win up to 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes instantly. Yes, you heard right. 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes. Don't miss out on the chance to win big. Dial *850*6# to play it now. Review Scratch for Win. Scratch it again. It is casting power. You must be 18 years and above to play. Terms and conditions apply. This game is regulated and approved by the NMA and the Caritas Council.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. As I indicated before we went on break, we are looking at the fallout from the MPP's flag bearers election. I mean, it is so clear that they have put in a strategy which seems to be a novelty as far as Ghana's elections are concerned. Since we started the Fourth Republic, right from 92 to date, the internal elections has always been the bottom-up approach. But this time, the MPP thought it wise, in their own wisdom, to have a different approach, and that is for them to start from the top and bring it down. And so one thing that happened was that they decided to rather change the flag bearer or the leader of their party, and then the effect is supposed to go down, which means that the regional, the constituency, the branch, or whatever national executive that they had in the last election are the same executives that they had for this election. That was the Saturday's election. What it also meant was that the register that they used, that's the delegates register, nothing has changed. It's the same register that elected Dr. Baumia the last time. That was prior to the 2024 general election. So nothing really has changed. There are people who make arguments that, well, they were expecting this outcome because they knew that the structure and the system was put in place to favor Dr. Baumia. There are others who also say that, well, that is not really true, because whatever the outcome was, it is just a reflection of the fact that Dr. Baumia and his team did what they needed to do to win. And so we are looking at it. But as I indicated, the question we are posing this evening is, what impact do you think the outcome brings to the 2028 general elections? Before I go into details, there's one interesting thing I want us to look at. The individuals who were supposed to vote, they were about 196,000 thereabouts, a little over. In fact, they were expecting over 200,000 delegates to do the voting. But it so happened that after the elections, the number of individuals that voted, per what EC told us, was that specifically they had 196,462 individuals casting their votes. There's something interesting, and I want you to look at it. Just take your calculator and do this calculation, and at the appropriate time, I'll request for the answer. The various individuals who went into the elections, there were 5 candidates. Out of these 5 candidates, the centers that I personally monitored or visited were 3. Now, what I realized, not what I was told, but what I saw, was that out of the 5 presidential candidates, 3, Dr. Baumia, Brian Champon, Kennedy Japan, they all gave monies to these individuals. Indeed, there were actually 4, including Educhum. It was engineered that I didn't see his camp giving any money. Probably that's the reason why he got what he got. But these 4 individuals that gave envelopes and gave money, Dr. Baumia gave each of the delegates 500 Ghana cedis. Brian Champon gave each of the delegates 700 Ghana cedis. And then Kennedy Japan gave each of the delegates 500 Ghana cedis. Educhum gave 300 Ghana cedis to each of the delegates. And what was interesting was that the monies that were given were not selective. They didn't say that, okay, we think this number of people will vote for us, so we are giving the money to this number of people. For whatever reason, all of them decided that they were giving it to each and every delegate. And so if we had across the country 196,462 individuals voting, Baumia gave each of them 500. Multiply 500 Ghana cedis by 196,462, and it will tell you the amount of money Baumia spent on that day alone, not to talk of the campaign that were done prior to the day, which was the Saturday. On that day alone, being Saturday, the amount of money that was spent by Baumia on the candidates is the total of 500 Ghana cedis by or times 196,462 delegates. When you are done, do the same computation, the same number of voters by 700 Ghana cedis, and it will give you the amount that Brian Champon spent. And then when you are done with that also, you'll do the same computation, 500 Ghana cedis by this number of voters, it will give you the amount that Kennedy Japan spent. Educhum spent 300 cedis on each. So do the multiplication by the number 196,462 delegates, and it will also tell you the amount of money that he spent. The reason why I'm bringing this on board is that over the past years, we've been talking about corruption, and we've been talking about the fact that if you make reference to the Criminal Code of Ghana 1960, it tells you specifically that vote buying and vote selling constitutes a crime. Not just, of course, corruption is a crime. So it also constitutes a crime because it is corruption, it's an act of corruption. Why is it that the various entities that we have especially the Special Prosecutor's Office, has been so adamant and so quiet when it comes to vote buying and vote selling, to the extent that speedily Ghana is now becoming so comfortable, and we are getting to a stage where we see nothing wrong when it comes to vote buying and vote selling. It is time for us to bring these individuals and start questioning them and asking them their sources. How did they get the money? Where did they get the money from? What work do they do? And how are they able to spend this amount of money on just one day, being the election day? Remember, that was just the election day. Not to talk of, as I indicated, over almost 1 year now, when they started crisscrossing the country, visiting constituencies and regions, taking fuel, going with individuals, their team members, campaign team members, hotel that they'll sleep in, food, and all that. Those are different costs. I'm just so interested in the day of the elections, the amount of money that was spent. Don't tell me that, well, it doesn't amount to vote buying and vote selling because probably they just gave it out as a gift. No. Again, I witnessed where individuals were being told to go and cast their vote, take pictures, and come and show it as evidence before they are giving their envelopes, which contains this amount of money, either the 700 cedis from Brian, either the 500 cedis from Baumia, the other 500 cedis from Kennedy, or the 300 cedis from Educhum. We cannot continue like this, where a country is getting to a stage where crime and criminal cases and actions are now becoming a norm. That is not what we expect. And so just do this calculation. When you're able to get a figure, you can send it, and then we'll take it from there. The question we're asking, as I indicated, is what impact does the outcome bring to the 2028 elections? This past days, 3 things happened, or 4 things. The first one was dominance. We've not even activated the phone yet. Anyway, so I'm told that there's a caller on the line, even though we've not. Okay, caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello? Hello? Okay, the caller is not ready. So I'm saying that 4 things played. The first one had to do with dominance. The second thing had to do with resilience. The third thing had to do with scattered influence. And the 4th thing had to do with minimal impact. The dominance was seen from Baumia's camp. Clearly, Baumia was the one who won the elections. And so the figures communicate so. It communicates that there was some level of dominance. The second one is that there was resilience. And the resilience came from Japan, that's Kennedy Japan's camp, and him as a person. The third one came from a champion, and that is Brian Champion. You could see that there was some level of scattered influence, here and there. Eastern region, there was some influence shown there. Some part of the northern constituencies, there was some influence shown there. Volta region, the same. So there was a scattered influence. But unfortunately, the other two, Educhum and Kwabene Japan, communicated minimal impacts. And so that is the summary of the outcome of what happened during the primaries, and that was 2 days ago's primaries. We are going to break down the figures, but as you can see on the screen, the phone lines has been activated already, and so it's just appropriate that I mention it. So it is activated. Baumia swept 14 regions. 14 regions. Now he won 14 out of the 16 regions that we have in this country. He secured 110,643 votes, which is equivalent to 56.48% of the total valid ballots cast by over 196,000 delegates. And the polling stations that they had were a little over 330, specifically was 333 polling centers nationwide. So Baumia did that. Now, Kennedy, Japan placed second. He had 46,554 votes, and that represented 23.76%. 23 0.76% of the valid votes, followed by Dr. Echampon. And interestingly, Echampon did, I think he did well, first time coming on, and I was expecting him to take the third position, which he did, but I wasn't expecting him to have the votes that he had. But from all indications, he did very well. Even though, as I keep saying, he reminds me so much of the former president, Akufo-Addo. Hello, caller. Welcome to Politics and Beyond. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Welcome to Politics and Beyond. Your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mr. Aho.
Okay. What does it mean?
Mr. Aho from the member of both constituency.
Okay. Mati.
Yeah, yes. Looking at the money spent on the election day.
Yes.
It means that each delegate took home 2,000 Ghana cedis.
That's true. Approximately, yes.
500 plus 500 plus 500, that's approximately 2,000 Ghana cedis.
That's right.
When you multiply by at least 197,000, that is about 394 million Ghana cedis.
394 million Ghana cedis.
Million. So
Very
when you
true.
take it to cedis, it's about 3 years, and that was spent on one day.
Exactly.
That is serious. So
Yeah.
if you don't have money, you cannot enter politics in Ghana.
That's what it means.
And this thing must be looked at. If you come to one day, if you are not careful, we will have, excuse me, somebody with a criminal background, because he has money. You take away the affairs of this country, and we will be having a double of the sort of thing we saw some 8 years. I don't want to mention the value. I hope you understand.
I get you very well.
Yes, so I think we have to look at that. And the criminal investigation bodies and special prosecutor, they should be interested in this so that you can put people off. They should not be stealing money that will come and contest election.
Yeah.
Different people will not have that money. There's no way you can work in Ghana and have 394 million before you contest the fragment.
That's true.
Oh, please, let's
That's
do
right.
that.
Thank you so much. So, I mean, that is the alarming part. And remember that there was a time in this country, specifically under the former president Kufuor, where a certain member of parliament was arrested. I'll come back. Welcome to Politics and Beyond. Your name and where you are calling from? Hello, Otimenka. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Norbert. It's from Navrungu.
Your name again?
My name is Norbert. I'm calling from Navrungu.
Navrungu. Please go ahead.
I was in Chile, so I can hear what is here. My name is Norbert.
Malam, can you reduce the volume on your TV set so that you can hear me directly? All right, next caller. Welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Your name and where you are calling from?
I am calling from Kofodia.
Your name?
Please, Reverend Alexa Baba.
Reverend, please go ahead.
Yes. Yes, I'm calling from Kofodia.
Yes, Reverend. Go ahead.
Alex Ababa. Yes, please. With what I want to say about the MPP, yes, for the Chimpo, I believe that because of the money that they used to support it and make it, that will let them get that kind of vote. But for their credibility, I do not see why people should vote for them. Because they are the ones who are trying to even buy our thoughts. And these kind of people cannot lead us, cannot lead this country. So because of that, it's not about us, it's about the money that they pay that make them have that kind of vote. Yes.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you so much. So, I mean, clearly, I was just making reference to a former member of parliament. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Thank you.
Your name and where you are calling from?
Matthias from Takwa.
Matthias, go ahead.
Actually, I heard you asking of their source of income. And I also want to know the source of income of that President Muhammad Stan who organized the boxing. What is the source of income to?
Okay.
Yeah, Sharaf Muhammad. What does he do? That he got that money to organize that huge boxing.
That's a legitimate question, Matthias. But the question is, he's not a government official. Neither is he a former government official. So, but I agree. I mean, it is time for us as a country to still advocate for a lifestyle audit. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So that whether you're a government official or you're not a government official, we should be able to know, we should have laws that questions your source of income, how you are living your life, where are you getting the money from? It is very important. So I agree with you. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Matthias. Well, so monetization ends up breeding corruption. And as I was talking about the former President Kufuor's era, we're in this country where a certain member of parliament was arrested outside this country for carrying drugs, and he was jailed outside the country. When his community or his constituency were interviewed, it was so clear that he found his way into parliament simply because he was able to pay so much to the constituents. And that is the alarming part of it. That is the reason why it is very important for us to find out the source, how we are able to raise money, where we get these monies from, in making sure that we get the competent people to lead us and not anyone who just brings in money. Look at the amount of money we are talking about here. Anyway, so we come back to what we were talking about earlier on. So Kennedy Japan placed second. Brian Echampong placed third with 36,303 votes, representing 18.53% of the vote. So we have 56.48%. We have 23.76%. We have 18.53%. Educhum, Dr. Yao Educhum, he came fourth. He had 1,999 votes, and that represented 1.02%. And then my own engineer, Kwabna Ijapon, and the rejected ballot decided to take care of the rest of the figures that we had. So that is what happened. I mean, in it, that is exactly what happened. Statistically, Baumia did well in Ashanti region. He put nearly 20,000 votes, and that cemented his dominance in the party's largest voting bloc. Remember, in the MPP, their largest bloc has to do with the Ashanti region, followed by the Eastern region. And so Baumia dominated. And that is why I make reference to the fact that the fallout had to do with dominance. Baumia took that part. He dominated. In Greater Accra, he also had around 19,800 votes. And that also shows the fact that he's strong when it comes to urban support. Anyway, caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello. Welcome to Politics and Beyond. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Emmanuel.
Can you position yourself? We are not hearing you well.
Hello?
Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Emmanuel.
Samuel. Calling from?
I'm calling from Kaswa.
Where?
Hello?
Did you say you are calling from Kaswa?
Yes, I'm calling from Kaswa.
All right. Samuel, please go. Samuel, can you position yourself very well? Hello, Samuel.
My calculation is
the line is not so Samuel, if you can hear me, try and call again. Sorry about that, but try and call in again. So, Ashanti region, Greater Accra region, we had Baumia taking charge of it. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Abalu.
Calling from?
New Legon.
New Legon. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not in good in English, so can I speak to you?
Speak tree. Go ahead. Offer Albert Miaka any language. Say ye tree. Say ye crying. Ubit Miaka.
Okay. Mpamcho Keno Porata finance minister up to date. Well, yeah, by other then they see. Yeah, by no force not up to date. One for number not on them running this.
Mate.
Now, Obi our prayer say we almost editing Emma we president Bano. Any unit. Any needed Misana, any needed. The penalty of mine cost of mine.
Mate, thank you so much, Abalu. So, he was just talking about Keno Furiata. I think that we've received recent updates from the Attorney General, if we were following it, and he tells us or he assures us that everything is being worked on, and at the appropriate time he will come in. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from?
Your friend Pascal. Me prefi Ayinswano.
Ayinswano. Hey, micro muni. Bibi Boko.
Boko. Me so kakra me what can I say? Yema Dr. Baumia yema ni trim kwa. Na ne wo man say. Hello.
Nka.
Ne wo mun say. Dr. Baumia na be kan wo Ghana ha say. What on the vice president ma MPP for Niska. Anunti enane sika e flow one premise omu ye him. Enti ne ye hiane say omu Dr. Baumia abano so pese Ghana for juma pa obe ya ma mine dia. Omu body no kofa Keno Furiata mra no bebu nkonta ma mine no. Na ye hu say wo musika omu yi by heart no. Fraud be any. So Furiata bebu nkonta na se obu nkonta na se bibia ko ye dia ye be hu so onga wi o man no but so Furiata ma me bu nkonta dia ene na ye sika na omu yi ne no ye krono na ye ka so onga wi aye no na enu so kakra me so me waka no me da se
Martin Pascal me da se pa. Anyway, so as I was saying, Ashanti region voter Greater Accra, there was dominance. Baumia took over, and for me, it suggests two things. The first one is that he has cemented his dominance in Ashanti region, which is the largest voting bloc for the MPP. And then the other one is that he also in Greater Accra, he talked about the fact that he has shown some strong urban support, and that has also taken place there. Now, when you look at Eastern region, you look at Western region, you look at Western North and Bono East, it was also clear that Baumia took over from that place, and I'll come to explain that. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Me pacho you, udini baby akasefi.
Pacho mi frefi kade abem youth organizer. Pacho ko to say.
Yami adomudin.
Francis is a youth organizer. Kade abem.
Francis.
Okay, pacho. Last year mo ba abem so mo hu mi amomari. Project dia amaso.
Francis. Can be a man say the can position on Nakasa. Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, Francis, we are not getting what you are saying, but anyway, we are not getting what you are saying, Francis. So we move to the next one. Do you have a caller on the line? Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello.
Hello, Francis. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Yeah, okay. Good evening.
Good evening. Man, Crowdini baby Akasefi.
Yeah, but I'm Mohammed.
Reduce to the volume on your TV set if it is on.
Okay. But I'm Mohammed.
Yes. It's you. Ukasefi.
Yeah, me Bunsu.
Okay. It's you.
Yeah, because I'm a chairman Kakrafa.
Francis, Mbacho, because Mohammed, because so yes.
Party, Mufia Damuncheya, finance minister. What can if you mine? But what hello?
Mohammed, Kosu Yatonka.
Yeah, party, Ufia Damunche, I'm a finance minister, Ghanaian if you mine. The vice president, Abasayan to Abamano. na nipa na mba be won ti mba be account on my friends o my no o samba se ento aba wan ti na che se yetoma ba umia no wini a na che se ne asidia na aden o se ba umia finance minister o ti mi ba no be account ma Ghana asa ye o bibia ene o maka ti patro ma aden no
Mate Mohammed, thank you so much. So we move to these three regions: Amika, Eastern, Western, North, and Bono East. There was an approximation of 69% in that region alone. Votes about in these four regions. No? And again, it reinforces his appeal in the traditional MPP basis and reflects broad acceptance in coastal areas. That is dominance. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, Mohammed.
Mohammed. Okay, Sefin.
Kasa free hafu bichim.
Okay, Sefin.
Hafu bichim. Hafu bichim.
Kosi yetio.
Me pacho me ma interest me se me keren se. Amambuna mama bunye hunse obun kama pa bet asa eya chok fa asne fa. Isi to le watete so amanima ba fompa. Na adentina bibiti se akuafo enema input no farmers input no and the ma from bit fertilizer we decide any other ayinana any now high but akuafo ne man dey from pa my say you who say you see first one yes we the ayeduma no nti be stress o he man na from mo ni nam na from na akuafo ne man from farmers no enema ba from a ne boda ba from no ma input no sum na from my madawroma kakra mo kan no.
Mohammed, thank you so much. Then when you get to Ahafo, there was a clean sweep across all the constituencies. It looks like Baumia won all the constituencies in Ahafo. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Udini
baby akasefi.
Kasafi kade abem.
Udin
for Ghana. Minister, your lorry kwan who na ya nya dia ye de to abama Baumia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Then you get to the northern and the upper east. Baumia got over 60% in these two regions. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello, your name and where you are calling from?
Lenkatri.
Okay, so producer, if the person calls and the line, the volume is still on, please take the person off. Let's get the next caller. Mepacho, so reduce the volume on your TV set. If not, you'll be taken off. Thank you. So then the next one is the Volta region, and that is where Brian Champon comes in.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Elmina.
What are you saying? Isifu. So, volume no was right. Do no. And I reduce
Hello.
Yes. Yetio.
Hello.
Yetio.
Like come some one kind of Dr. Baumia, when we need Papa. Ina, I handle. Na, equal one day. Dr. Baumia, wait a kufia after Papa. A kufisam. Nesisa no, so urban there. Or a raya. Eba some papa no bakashe ganafo. Wada akufisama no di. Into the come to more Makayan.
Mate, thank you so much. Inti Brian Champon interestingly took over Volta region this time. And then Kennedy took over his own region. That's his backyard, being Central region. So those were the two regions that Baumia couldn't win. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello.
Oh, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Okay, thank you. My name is Amza Kaya.
Hello, your name is?
Hello.
Ola Nimunya Crow. Can you hear me? It looks like we've lost him. All right. So Central. Hello, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Yeah, thank you.
Udi, any baby akasefi?
Maybe the legal make free. Your friend Afalaja. Okay.
Yes, you.
Yes, friend is a way. By a champ say, we your friend is about me and two pro. Now, they say two pro the market of Vianto. And it's also quite supporting the view. And now we so your friend is a Kennedy to say, Bomé or Trofo. International so Baba supporting Trona and answer the heading. Into Omaya somewhere at the other. Into any Baba heading. And now Bamia Obianum, no Babayana, what me welcome. And yeah, they are obey into ma and this in bone, but near a penny say. And this is for better to know my said on start in first uncle.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Inti, now we move to the specifics. That's the fallout. I indicated to you earlier on that we had a total vote cast of 196, 462, valid votes 195, 901, rejected ballots 561. And then Baumia share, which constituted a 56.48%, was in votes was 110, 643. That is what happened. Now, after the elections, a number of things took place. The first one had to do with party concerns or unity concerns. Before I get to the unity concerns, there's this figures that has come in, and I think it's of interest that I make it known. Remember, I mentioned the amounts that were given by these various candidates on that day, that is the Saturday, the D-Day, just one day. Yura, Dr. Educhum, the former education minister, he gave each of the delegates 300 Ghana cedis. If you multiply it by 196, you are getting an amount of 58.9 million Ghana cedis. So approximately 59 million Ghana cedis. That was what Educhum spent on that day, the Saturday alone. 59 million Ghana cedis. That's what he spent. Then you come to Brian Echampong, who gave each delegate 700 Ghana cedis. If you multiply it by the number of voters, the 196,462 that I mentioned, it comes to an amount of 137.5 million Ghana cedis. So if you approximate it, we are looking at 138 million Ghana cedis. 138 million Ghana cedis. Take note, we are not talking about old Ghana cedis. We are talking about current Ghana cedis. Or we are not talking about old cedis. We are talking about current Ghana cedis. 138 million Ghana cedis is what Brian Champon spent on that day alone. Then the other two, they decided to give 500. So Baumia gave 500 to each of the delegates. And if you multiply the 500 by the number of delegates, those who went into to cast their votes, you are getting 98.2 million. Let's even take away the 200 that is on it. So he spent 98 million Ghana cedis on that day. 98 million Ghana cedis is what Baumia spent on that day, the Saturday alone or only. Then Kennedy, who also spent the same amount, 500 Ghana cedis, it means that he also spent 98 million Ghana cedis on that day. Mind you, I'm not talking about the amount of money that was spent throughout the campaign. I'm talking about that particular day, the 31st. Between the 30th, that is the Friday night, into the 31st, which was the election day, the Saturday. These are the amount of monies that these candidates spent. And if you're in this country and you really believe in multi-party democracy, as we are practicing, and you are getting these figures, and you are not worried, then it simply means that you don't even have this country's democracy at heart. But then it raises the question of, why is it that we are speedily allowing that which is supposed to be a crime per our laws. We are allowing these things to be a normal thing. That now we can commit a crime by buying votes, by selling our votes, and then it is like business as usual. Nobody talks about it. Nobody cares. Special prosecutor doesn't care about it. CID's department doesn't care about it. The other investigative bodies that we have in this country, nobody cares about it. And it is now a norm. You must do that before you can go into an election or before you are voted for. So that is one thing that we need to talk about, or we need to have in mind as we consider how best to protect our democracy. The fallout, the first one I indicated, had to do with the party unity concerns. The primaries or the presidential elections that we had, it clearly exposed factionalism, which was largely between the Baumia's camp and the Kennedy Japan's loyalists. Yesterday, after the declaration, there were individuals on TV and on social media, other platforms, saying that, well, no Kennedy, no votes. This one says that, the other one says that. So clearly, there's a party concern when it comes to unity. That is one of the fallouts. The second one has to do with regional voting patterns. And if you recall, the figures that I took you through per the regions, it is so clear that Bawumia performed strongly in the northern regions. He reinforced his appeal as a candidate who can broaden the MPP's base, because the MPP has always been seen as, an Akan party, a party that says that, well, we can win with two regions, Eastern and then Ashanti region, and that is okay for us. But from what happened, the fallout, one of the fallout has to do with the fact that there is a regional voting party which suggests that Bawumia is expanding his regional base. He's making himself, as a candidate that appeals beyond the Ashanti and the Eastern region. And that has to do with Bawumia in the MPP as a party. Kennedy Japan also retained some pockets of support in the Central and Ashanti region. But of course, it wasn't enough to challenge nationally. So yes, Bawumia has his strength. Kennedy has also communicated to us through the voting that took place, the outcome of the voting, that he retains some pockets of support in Central region, which has to do with his backyard, and then some parts of Ashanti region. It is so clear on that. So that is also there. So that talks about the regional voting patterns that came from the elections, the voting that they did. The other one has to do with the future of the defeated candidates. You see, Kennedy Japan gave a concession speech as to whether he believes in the words or not is another thing. But their argument, there are individuals who have come out to say that looking at his age, looking at the figures that he got, looking at the result that he got, it will be difficult for him to say that he's going to run again. And so probably he may want to go back to parliament or concentrate on business, as he claims he's been doing. He claims to be a businessman with thousands of businesses. Unfortunately, during the elections, one of the candidates or one of his opponents questioned him to show those businesses, and his response was that if he should end up mentioning his businesses, GRA will come after him. And for that reason, he's not going to do that. But yes, he claims to have businesses and he's a businessman. So from the elections that took place, the Saturday's elections that took place, it is clear that whether or not he want to contest again in future, from where I sit, it looks like that might not be an option for him. That might not be something that he will even want to contemplate or think of. Politically, it will not be wise for him to do that. But we also look at Brian, and as I indicated earlier, Brian obviously is someone who always reminds me of the former president, Akufo-Addo. But even before I continue with Brian, let me welcome this caller. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello, did we miss you? Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. All right, looks like we missed him. Sorry, you can call back. So Brian Champon, he came in brought in all the energy, brought in all the resources. As someone would say, he actually came in to meet Ken and all the others boot for boot. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you are calling from.
Yes, I'm calling from Takrady. My name is Abdul Samit.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. I want you to ask the Honorable Attorney General Dominic Ayini that what is over happening on Martin's assault on police on that seafood day called the docket. What is the docket? So they speak claim that the docket is ready and they've given everything to. So what is he not showing anything?
Abdul.
Or is he,
Abdul, can you hear me?
Please, I can hear you.
Can you go over your question? Your line wasn't so clear.
All right. Please, can you hear me now?
Yes. Abdul, go ahead. I can hear you.
Please, my question is that I want you to ask the Honorable Attorney General,
yes,
Dominic.
Oh, Abdul, sorry about that. It looks like we are having challenges with your line. You can call again. I'm interested in the question you want me to pose today to Dominic, the Attorney General. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
You can call again. I'm interested in the question you want.
Can we please take the person off till the person is ready to call? As I indicated, if you want to contribute, make sure that your can you hear me? Can we please do this? Please, producer, do this for me. Reduce the volume on your TV set if you want to contribute. All right. So Brian Echampong, Yao Edichum. Well, Brian may, with what happened, it is possible that he may want to contest again. From all indication, it was so clear that he was preparing himself for the future. It looks like he wasn't so much expecting to win, but to send a signal, a message that he is the future, the next face for the party. So Brian may have a future as far as the flag bearer election is concerned. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from?
I come back again. It's Abalu.
Your name is what?
Abalu. Yeah.
Abalu. Where are you calling from?
New Legon.
New Legon. Yes, please go ahead.
Boss, Mbacho. We Baumia, say okay, Stia. Nti Semenkwadia, Yabeko magazine, Ako Prestia, Correctia Diamond, because Dibia or compare or Mumpastia and Mammy. Nti Ebon Badako Kumasi magazine, Ako Prestia, because we need as in Pabia Magana for. Yes, your mama buy as 1 year with their shit in Ghana. I'm a young in our toy. But more a drama muton nemano, Omun person won't on mine because J and buy an orchestra or no by ye ama or ye and I want toy, Ghana will be on water, she petu, she $1. While you ma amas the Biako for mamma. Thank you for much or more person, John Mahama, any guasin, or move woman name with the guas. Yes, someone or more to a go and move on them or moon ready to the Biama or Bian Humpe. Yeah, Famichiama, we finance minister.
All right. Thank you so much, Abalu. So, as I was saying, we talk about Brian, we talk about Edichum. It just looks like Engineer Kwabene J. For him, I think that this should be the last end when it comes to how do we call it, presidential primaries or elections. I think that should be his last end. Unfortunately, he should have, and I have said this a few times on other platforms, that he should have probably concentrated on becoming a national executive of his party. He would have been a fantastic person. But it looks like this one didn't work. Let me take the last caller. Welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening, boss.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Please, my name is Abdesman. I'm calling from Takrady.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Please, my question goes to the Honorable Attorney General. Please, what is he doing with Afio Markin's docket in his office? referring to assault after marking assaulted a police officer on that fateful day. Please, we want him to brief us on that issue.
Right.
Is he not taking any action against Afemak, or he's saying that whatever Afemak did, he was in support of it? That's why he's not telling that there's anything. So should anyone at all get up and grab a police officer, would he take action against that person?
Very well.
We want him to brief us on that issue.
Very well.
Because what Afemak did is a criminal thing.
I agree. And I think that it is very laudable. Thank you for calling, and thank you for posing this question. I think that it's a question that needs to be answered. If I recall very well, this incident took place somewhere last year or so. It should be clearly almost a year or over a year now. And so it is important that we need to find out what the docket is doing at the Attorney General's office. It is important for us, the leaders, people who are leading us, we need to, if we want to convince the ordinary person that the laws are working, then we need not be seen as selecting when it comes to who to apply the law on. So yes, I agree with you. It is something that we need to find answers to from the Attorney General's ministry. We come to Unity Challenge. You see, there's a split between Baumia's Northern Accra dominance and the Japan's Ashanti Central Base. And this can clearly bring about internal friction. And so this is one of the fallout and the implications. The other one has to do with strategic risk. If Kennedy Japan's supporters feel sidelined, there will be voter enthusiasm in MPP's stronghold, and that may weaken the 2028, their impact in the 2028 elections. Finally, on the fallout and the implications, Baumia's broad regional appeal positions him as a candidate who can expand MPP's reach beyond traditional base. And that is something that if they are able to capitalize on, they may change their fortunes as far as their result in the 2024 general elections was concerned. But it is just a bit too early, but I don't think that the Baumia's factor will make any significant difference. There might be some improvement, but obviously that improvement will not be able to get the MPP anywhere closer to 50+1 for the general elections. I'll come to conclusion, but because I have a very limited time, let me just take one or two messages that has come. This one says that, Mr. Wilson, Dr. Baumia's winning the MPP flag bearer race. It's not surprising. He can be a flag bearer for the MPP, but can't be a president for Ghana because we all know what he, Dr. Baumia, and his former boss, Nanado, came to do by weakening Ghana's economy. So what different thing will Dr. Baumia bring on board? This is coming from Ablade, Ifia Kuma Zongo in Takrade. My greetings to you, Mr. Wilson, and to the incoming Ifia constituency NDC organizer. And again, it's coming from Ablade, okay. This one says, okay, maybe let me just pick one or two from this one. What is Dr. Baumia coming to do? To bring dollar to 5 cedis or to bring petrol to 5 cedis? 27% is awaiting Dr. Baumia in the 2028 elections. All right, I didn't add you on the mock-up. So unfortunately, I will not be able to take any more messages. There are a number of messages that have come through. But in conclusion, the MPP primaries have clarified leadership. Clearly, it has indicated who their leader is. But it has left behind a deep factional wound. That is also true. Very, very deep one. And it looks like this election, even though subtly and quietly, it has left a deeper wound than before they went into the elections. And so they have a lot of work to do. The fallout is less about the winner. Honestly, it's less about Baumia. And it is more about whether the party can heal the divisions and present a united front for the 2028 general elections. They have the head now, clearly. Remember, they are now going to start their internal elections. And it is now going to be from the branch, the constituency, the region, and then to the national. But if you already have the head, the chances are that you will all want to be told, they will toe a certain line, and that will bring a deeper division. Clearly, some individuals will be sidelined. People perceived to be Kennedy will be sidelined. People perceived to be Brian will be sidelined. People perceived to be Educhum and then Kwabene Japan will be sidelined, and that will deepen the wound. And so that is one thing that the MPP's election has presented. Bawumia's sweeping victories across most regions make him the clear flag bearer. But Kennedy's regional strength means reconciliation is very critical. Very, very, very critical. The map of results shows Bawumia as the clear national front runner, but also it highlights regional divisions or divides, as I indicated. And it's not just about Kennedy, it is also about Brian. As for the other two, I think the only place where Educhum showed that he was strong had to do with his constituency. And even with that, the margin wasn't so significant compared to Kennedy's constituency and then the performance of Bawumia in his constituency. But clearly, there's a division, and if they want to make progress, they need to have some extra work done for reconciliation to take place. Then comes Bawumia's dominance. Northern Base, Greater Accra, Eastern. It gives him a decisive edge. But the question is, aside these three, what happens to the swinging or the swing constituencies or regions? Central region, Greater Accra, and the others that you can talk of. Japan's resilience, strong in Central and part of Ashanti, but clearly lacks the nationwide reach, as I indicated. And then that comes of that of Ichampon too. And so clearly, from where I sit and from all indication, the MPP had their elections, started on a very wrong foot, the top-down approach, and then moved straight into creating a stronger division. I see they being sidelined, a lot of people being sidelined, and that will worsen the situation. I see followers of Brian being sidelined when it is time for them to have their other internal elections and they decide to contest for any of the positions. I see that happening. Kennedy Japan's people, I see that happening a lot. And indeed, what is even worse has to do with their minority leader, Afenyo Markin, and his open declaration for one candidate, Kennedy Japan, and doing everything practicable to ensure, which unfortunately didn't happen, to ensure that his candidate wins. And whether or not Parliament itself, which is now, they are not even performing as we expect them to do, as we expect from the minority or a minority side, as we expect from them. It is so clear that they are not doing what is expected of them. But the truth of the matter is, after this fallout, after this election, where the current minority leader has openly done everything possible to sabotage their flag bearer that they've elected now, how is it even going to work? Internally, as a party, they have a strong crack, a significant one. Minority in parliament, there's a serious problem over there too. And so you ask yourself whether or not these individuals will be able to do what they need to do. I'm happy that we've gone through this, and that brings about a summary of it. We've given a catch-up to what happened as far as 31st January 2026 elections of the MPP was concerned. I want to thank each and every one of you who contributed, the number of individuals who sent in the text messages, those that I couldn't read, and those that have even sent private messages telling me that they are trying to phone in, but the phone lines were so busy. I want to appreciate each and every one of you. On our social media platforms, we can continue with the conversations. Next week, we are moving into a different realm. We are going into something different, which is going to be of interest to each and every one of us as far as protecting the future of this country is concerned. So we meet again next week. I want to say thank you so much. You can go back and then, play the video, and then you can get yourself acquainted with what we have discussed. But it is also important, as I wrap up, it is very important that we shun the monetization, the buying of votes, the selling of votes, using the taxpayers' money, using monies that we cannot account for. Special prosecutor set up, CID set up, department set up, all the other agencies that have the mandate to investigate this crime set up, or this purported crime set up. Let us protect the democracy that we are having as a country. That is all we have as a country. So we meet again next week. I'm still your host, Emmanuel Wilson Jr., and all I can say for now is good night.